Hi everybody, Peter here. Welcome back to Triple G Comics for another super powered popcorn. This time we're looking at Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 2. So let's just get it right over and done with. This is a tremendous TV series. I'm absolutely loving this show so far. We're only 2 episodes in and I think it's going to be one of the big hits for Marvel. You'll have seen my last review hopefully. You'll know how much I rated the first episode. This episode's just the same. I think it's really well done. On the ginger nut scale, it is a most definite 4.5 chewy nuts out of 5. The money Marvel are chucking at this series is not to be sniffed at. They're obviously putting a lot of time and effort into these Disney Plus shows, which is great for us as fans. Let's first of all touch on the action of the series. There's some brilliant battle scenes in this. There's some excellent fighting on top of the train, the trucks, which we've seen a little bit of in the trailers and things. It's really well done. Some good action sequences. It feels like the people are in jeopardy at times. I like the fact that we're seeing Bucky and Falcon get the backsides kicked a fair bit. It flows really well. I guess one thing I was a little bit surprised at is that I'm trying to understand in my head just how powerful Bucky is in particular. So there's one scene earlier on in the episode where he jumps out of an aeroplane and basically just lands on his back. And I'm not sure, is that how strong he's supposed to be? I don't remember him being that tough. I know he's had the super soldier serum and all the rest of it. I don't know. It just felt a little bit too tough for me. Maybe it's just me. I can't emphasize enough how much I enjoy the buddy relationship between him and Sam Wilson. I think it's brilliant. The banter between them is excellent. They play off each other really well. It's funny. It had me laughing at a number of points. Loved the bit about the 3 kind of main forms of baddies. You know, the aliens, AI, and wizards. I thought that was really quite entertaining. Just really good. They gel very well on screen, and that comes across in the show. I think it's a good buddy action kind of show. It'll be really interesting to see how the dynamics change next week when Condor Man joins the series. We've seen him in the trailer. We know Condor Man is a classic Disney character and been in movies numerous times. It's really interesting to see how they incorporate him and his comedic kind of side into this TV series. Obviously that's utter we know Condor Man's not joining. I don't think anybody's probably seen Condor Man. It's a load of crap. We had a lot more information obviously in this episode about US Agent, about John Walker. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was interesting. As a comic fan, I think we all know we're not supposed to like John. I think his story will play out hopefully as it does in the comics. But I did quite like him. I thought they did well at kind of bringing him down to earth, humanising him a little bit at the start. I thought that worked really well. Obviously you had a buddy in this one and we were introduced to Battlestar. First appearance on screen for you to have a look at if you're interested in trying to catch up with some of the keys for the series. Again, interesting. Again, I'm not quite sure whether these guys are supposed to have powers or not. So at one scene at the start, I'm fairly sure John Walker, when he's being interviewed, says that he's not like Iron Man. He doesn't have any special powers. He just has a lot of courage. Well, it certainly doesn't feel like that when he's on top of the trucks. He's certainly coming across like he's got the super soldier serum in him. And certainly when he's chucking the shield and things. Perhaps I've just misunderstood something. But certainly he's coming across like he's a super soldier to me. Other key appearances in this episode is obviously we're introduced to the first Captain America, which is introduced in the series Truth, Red, White and Black, which is a fantastic series, which basically introduces the notion that there were a number of experiments on black people prior to Steve Rogers. Was it prior or after? I can't remember. But basically giving them super soldier serum and superpowers. And we're introduced to him in this series. Now, the interesting thing is he's also living with a young man, and I don't think the name the young man, I didn't pick up on it. But I would imagine that that's supposed to be his grandson, who comic book fans will know becomes Patriot from the new Young Avengers. As we know, we're getting a Hawkeye series, which has got Kate Bishop in it, who becomes Hawkeye again from Young Avengers. We've also had Scarlet Witch's children, who we know, Wiccan in particular, initially appears in Young Avengers. Feels very much, I don't believe Marvel are doing this accidentally. I think we're building towards a Young Avengers series, movie, or something like that. And if so, that will be fantastic, because I love the Young Avengers series. I think it's really, really good. And actually, sorry, just just thinking back, we also had Cassie Lang, didn't we, in Endgame, who appears in Young Avengers as well. So again, that's a key spec book. I think that's something that will hopefully take off shortly. The action then kind of moves a little bit forward, and we see the interesting kind of narrative between the guys, the Flag Smashers, and obviously they're being chased by someone else who they refer to as the Power Broker. Now, the Power Broker in the comics is someone who I think peddled Super Soldier Serum a while ago. I don't know much about that character. I'll do a bit of research, and again, first appearance on screen. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. And then at the very end of the episode, obviously, we get Zemo. Zemo, who you'll remember from Civil War, who was a brilliant character and that excellent portrayal of him. Didn't wear his traditional costume and mask, but we do know that that's coming within this series. Heartbreak of the episode for me is, as you'll remember from my last episode, I told you that I loved Red Wing, and they smash it up to bits. Now, I can't remember if that was a bit of tech that Tony Stark developed for Sam, or if that's something that he already had developed. It'll be interesting to see how they move that forward in this future storyline, obviously, without Tony Stark being around. Can all of the kit and the tech be so easily fixed and remade without Stark's knowledge and skills behind it? I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Perhaps that's what will lead into the Riri Williams story, which I think we've got coming up as well in the future. So, overall, very strong episode again. I think this is shaping up to be an excellent series. Really enjoying it. Very different pace to WandaVision. WandaVision was very much a slow burn. This, for me, is just hitting all the notes straight off. I think it's really, really good. Whilst we're talking about TV series, after watching this programme last night, I then flicked over with my son and watched Invincible. Invincible, don't know what I did with my face there. Invincible has always been one of my favourite comic book series. I absolutely love it. I think it's a graphic, really interesting story. Obviously done by Robert Kirkman. It's everything you would expect from a Robert Kirkman kind of story. It's got real passion, real feeling behind it, and some absolutely tremendous action scenes. It's very bloody for those that have read it. I think the first appearance of this is going to skyrocket because of the success of the cartoon. You can get all of the issues, because it's an unusual series in that it actually ends, so you can read the complete series, and you can get it. eBay telling us to buy something. You can get it in 3 compendiums, so you can get the full story, and they're very reasonably priced. Really recommend the series. The cartoon is phenomenal. Watched it with my son last night, and I kind of knew what was coming. But the end scene of the first episode just blew his mind. It was absolutely brilliant. They really didn't pull the punches with it. So that's on Amazon. Really recommend you go and watch that. First 3 episodes are out at the moment, and then you watch, I think it's weekly after that. They've got to make this into a live action movie. It would have to be R-rated, I think, to give it justice. But I would love to see a proper Invincible movie. Okie dokie. That's all for now. Catch you next time. Thanks very much. Bye.